heard much about Dr. Wallach, Joel Wallach, and he's with me today on This Is Your Day, and I pray the Lord will really use this man to bless your life and bring health back to your life. And by the way, thank you for being my wonderful partner and friend. I really mean it with all my heart. Thank you, thank you. Doc, I have heard much about you, and I'm glad you're with me. 74 years young. Look at him. You look like 55.
Well, thank you, sir.
Pleasure,
It's
pleasure.
an honor and a blessing to be with you, Pastor Benny.
Well, I'm so glad you're with me. Doc, what is it about you that makes you so different than everybody I've ever had on the program who is dealing in nutrition? I mean, you have a lot of amazing ideas. You just told me a few things that were quite shocking. But I want to hear why nutrition is working and conventional medicine is killing people, like you said, like more people have died. Say that again.
Oh, more people are killed each year by medical doctors in America than the mafia does in 1,000 years.
Well, how can you say that?
Well, because it's a fact. These are government statistics from the Center for Disease Control. Each year in America, medical doctors kill, injure, and infect 15 million Americans. Each year in America.
Because of
negligence, carelessness, don't wash their hands, simple things like that. Give misinformation. It's a big problem.
You've helped a lot of people.
Millions, Pastor.
How?
Well, first of all, the good Lord is giving us the guidance.
You're a Christian, born-again Christian.
Yes, correct.
So
Absolutely.
how have you helped people?
Well, the thing that makes my view different is that I have a degree in agriculture, and I understand soil and plants. I'm a veterinarian, and so in veterinary medicine, animals get the same disease as humans do, but we don't have insurance. We don't have health insurance for animals like we do for people. Health insurance has been the worst possible enemy of human beings because doctors use people as an ATM machine because of the health insurance. In veterinary medicine, if you don't cure the animal on your first visit to the farmer never asks you back because he doesn't have insurance to pay for treating a bull for 25 years. You got to do it the first time. Then, I'm a pathologist. I've been on big government projects, NIH projects for the federal government, where I did over 20,000 autopsies, 10 million chemistries. The book's in the Smithsonian Institute. It was a national treasure, 1,200-page thick book. And the bottom line of the story is that every animal and every human being who dies of natural causes dies of a nutritional deficiency disease. I actually discovered the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis back in 1977. And when I pointed out that it wasn't a genetically transmitted disease, which is what is generally thought by the medical profession, it was a simple nutritional deficiency disease during pregnancy, that we could prevent cystic fibrosis. We can reverse it even after the baby's born very quickly, reverse the genetic markers. We can do it. And they fired me because they said, you must be sniffing glue, Wallach. Because you can't do that. It's genetic. I said, no, sir, it's not. Do I get to defend my research like a PhD student? No, you're not even contract. You're fired. So I went back to school and I became a physician so I could treat the kids. It's been the biggest blessing in my life to get fired so I could be a doctor and I can heal people now.
And you've been doing it for?
35 years.
Okay, so what have you found that works, really works?
Well, what I've learned through the animal industry is that all vertebrates, whether you're a hummingbird or a human being or an elephant, all vertebrates require 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, just like an automobile requires oil and gasoline and oxygen and spark plugs. There's certain things we require. And in the animal industry, since we don't have insurance, we don't do things by chance. So we put everything we know that the laboratory rat needs in his little alfalfa pellet. And in a can of dog food, you read the label, the dog's got everything he needs. There's no chance. We eat well. We squish the tomato, and we smell the tomato, and we say, well, it smells good, it tastes good, it'll make good stew and good tomato soup, but we don't know what's in it, for good or for evil. And so what I've come up with using the animal concept and philosophy is to put everything we know that vertebrates, including humans, need, and then whatever's in the food, whatever good stuff is in the food, is value added as opposed to depending totally on it. That way, we're at least treating ourselves as well as we treat dogs. And doing this in the animal industry, we've eliminated 900 different diseases in dogs that still plague people. We've tripled their lifespans. Pastor Benny, 60 years ago, an old dog was only 8 years old. Today, they're 25 years old. We didn't do that with organ transplants or genetically engineered proteins or stem cells. We didn't do that with wonder drugs. We did it simply putting vitamins and minerals in their food. And so 35 years ago, I began to do this for people, and praise God, it works.
And you helped Creflo Dollar, or was it
Yes,
his,
sir. Yes.
Was it his daughter or him or who?
Both. It was first of all, it was his daughter. She was 11 years old when I first was introduced to them by Andy Young from the Civil Rights Movement. And he and I were very good friends. And Pastor Dollar's 11-year-old daughter had terrible asthma. It was progressively getting worse. And the doctors pulled him aside and said, Pastor Dollar, this child's not going to make it. She's not responding to medical treatment. And so Andy Young introduced us, and we put her on the 90 essential nutrients. We got her on a gluten-free diet, and praise God, in 2 weeks' time, she was cured.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, yes, sir. And that was 12 years ago. She's perfectly normal today.
And now you go to his church, I hear, and do seminars or something.
Yes, yes. I give 300 free lectures a year. I do this around the world. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Can you help people with cancer?
Yes, we can help people with cancer,
How?
type 2 diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's disease.
Let's talk about cancer.
Okay, cancer first. Well, first of all, cancer is a self-inflicted disease. It's not genetically transmitted. And so then...
When you say self-inflicted, you mean because of food?
Because what we don't eat, the things we do to ourselves. For instance, there's a wonderful piece of research that came out of the University of South Carolina in 1998. They showed very clearly, we're talking about 90,000 nurses for 20 years. It was part of the nurses' health study. And their part was to look at how the nurses cooked their food. And they found out that if women cooked their roast beef medium rare and ate it medium rare, it reduced the risk of breast cancer by 462%. But if they cooked it well done and ate the meat well done where the fat was burnt, it increased the risk of breast cancer by 462%.
Wow.
It's been known since 1957, if you supplement with 200 micrograms of selenium every day, a trace mineral, you reduce the risk of breast cancer by 82%, prostate cancer by 69%, and it costs you 20 cents a day. Now that's insurance.
Sure.
See, that's insurance, not paying the insurance company to pay the doctor when you mess up. And so also trans fatty acids, which come from oils, things like salad dressings, cooking oils. You eat canned fish and they're packed in oils instead of water, mustard, tomato sauce. Things like I said, fried foods, and these sorts of things turn into trans fatty acids, heterocyclamines, acrylamides. Short order cooks who fry potatoes and fry fish and fry steaks and fry chicken, they get lung cancer without smoking. More people get lung cancer from frying food and inhaling the fumes with trans fatty acid in it than they do from smoking.
I have never heard that.
That's a fact.
Wow.
This is why I say these are self-inflicted things, and here's where the doctors have failed us by not sharing that message.
So how do we reverse that?
Well, just by you asking those questions on this program, you're going to save millions of people because they'll say, I didn't know that. You mean all I have to do is eat my roast beef cooked medium rare instead of well done? I can reduce my risk of breast cancer by 460%.
Eating roast beef medium well.
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
Will reduce your risk of breast cancer by 462%.
I've never heard that from anybody.
It's published.
Where have you been, Doc?
It's published.
Because you hear the opposite. You hear it as, it's got to be well done, no blood, no red, no this, no that, because of the Bible saying no blood. What do you say?
Well, when an animal is killed, when it's butchered, you drain the blood out, and then you don't have to worry about the blood because it's been drained out.
Okay, but now we've heard that it's best to eat it well done. You're telling us no.
No. You increase your risk of cancer. You don't want to do that.
Okay, let's talk about reversing cancer. How?
Okay. Reversing cancer requires two things. Number one, you have to work on cutting off the blood supply to the cancer. So
you can reverse cancer?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure. In fact, we did a joint study with Clemson University from University of South Carolina, Clemson University in Clemson, South Carolina. And we started out with human cells in culture, colon cancer cells, stomach and liver cancer cells, breast cancer cells. And we have programs, nutritional programs, and they used our nutritional products with these cell cultures of human cells with cancer, have a 95% kill rate in colon cancer.
Okay, now you said to reverse cancer you have to cut, let's go back and talk about that. Cut what?
Okay, you have to cut out fried foods.
Okay.
Processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. And this is one of the reasons I find it really very, very sad that a pastor can give the message of the good book to his congregation, and then he goes downstairs after the church and eats fried chicken with everybody and kills everybody with fried chicken.
So, no fried foods.
No
what
fried
else?
Food. Okay, then they have to stay away from things that inflame the tissues, inflame the immune system. Sugar. Gluten is one of the worst ones. Gluten is one of the worst ones.
Because?
Okay, because it causes inflammation, which sets you up for cancerous changes in all tissues.
I mean, we've heard sugar is terrible.
That's right.
Because it feeds cancerous cells.
That's right.
But you're saying gluten also is a no-no.
Yes.
Don't even touch it.
Well, the thing that's going to raise your blood sugar faster than sugar is whole grain bread. Whole grain bread will make your blood sugar go up faster and higher than a tablespoon of sugar.
I'm learning things from you, and I've had many doctors, and I've read books. And
were they
keep talking now.
medical doctors?
Pardon?
Were your guests medical doctors, sir?
Yeah, I mean, they were nutritional doctors,
Yes.
medical doctors, but, you know, we learn from a whole lot of you, not just one person.
Yes, yes.
So, no fried foods, no sugars, glutens.
No gluten.
Out. What else, Doc?
Processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, particularly bad for the colon and prostate cancer, colon cancer caused by the nitrates and nitrates.
Okay, now
deli slices, sandwich meats.
Let's take someone who has been told you've got stage 4 cancer.
Okay.
Can you reverse that?
It's possible, not 100% of the time, because of many other side factors, but it is possible. The percentages depend on the type of cancer. One of the easiest ones to reverse is prostate cancer. Nobody should ever die of prostate cancer. When somebody dies of prostate cancer, it's not from the cancer, it's from the treatment. And so it's best to stay away from the treatment.
How do you reverse that type of cancer?
Two things. You have to stop the ongoing damage. No fried foods, no oils, no meat cooked well done, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, no deli slices, no sandwich meats. Once you get rid of those things that actually inflame the prostate and the colon and all these types of cancers in the pelvis, even bladder cancer, urinary bladder cancer, then you want to actually directly do what you can to kill that cancer. And here's where certain mushrooms will come in. Reishi mushrooms are very famous. Some of the trace minerals like gallium, germanium, selenium are very, very good supports the immune system.
I had heard that in Israel, that they're using mushrooms.
Yes.
Certain mushrooms to cure cancer in Israel.
Yes, they're very, very good, support the immune system. And people have known this for thousands of years, particularly in
eating mushrooms, or can you juice them, or what?
Well, you can juice them. In fact, there's companies that actually sell mushroom juices. We have mushrooms in many of our, one you'll like, I'll send you some. It's a chocolate we call triple truffle chocolate, and it has mushrooms and reishi mushrooms in there that are actually very good for the immune system.
You want to say anything more about cancer before I move to heart disease? Do you think people want to hear?
I want people to know that it's not genetic. You can have everybody in your past, your family die of cancer. You're not going to get cancer unless you create it in yourself. It's not a genetically thing. You're not doomed to get it. And if you're proactive, you'd be a little obsessive about staying away from the bad things, you'll avoid cancer 100%.
You can?
Yes, sir.
Avoid cancer?
Yes.
All the way?
Yes, sir.
By, give me the big laws, headline laws on how to avoid it.
Headline laws, no
fried food.
No fried food, yes.
No sugars.
No sugars.
No
gluten.
Okay, gluten.
No gluten. No deli slices. No sandwich meats. Nitrates and nitrites.
Okay.
And you must cook your food medium or medium rare as opposed to medium well and well done. Very, very important.
And you have proof on that medium.
Oh, yes, sir.
No well done stuff.
Yes, sir. There's a big study, again, out of the University of South Carolina. And this is me. I'm just reporting what's already been published in scientific journals. And then you must supplement with the trace minerals that will actually support your immune system and actually kill the cancer.
What minerals?
Again, we're talking about selenium for breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, certain types of brain cancer.
Do we get selenium from certain foods too?
Well,
or not?
Not. The only food that you can guarantee you're going to get some selenium in is liver.
Okay. I'd rather take supplements. Okay.
As most people would.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
In fact, there's a lot of people say there's lots of selenium in Brazil nuts. That's not true. In fact, I was just down in Brazil, bringing our message down to Brazil, and they sell Brazil nuts on the counter like we sell popcorn and stuff. And I said, how much selenium's in there? Oh, everybody has said there's none in these because they don't need them.
I read that years ago that there's high amounts of selenium in Brazil nuts. Now you're telling me no.
Not so.
What's the best nuts to eat to help with your health, overall health?
The fresh ones that you can get and crack yourself. If they're already in a bag, and they say naturally gluten-free, and then you roll that bag over and you look on the allergy section in the back, it says these nuts have been packaged in equipment that also packages wheat products.
Wow.
Can't
so the
have them.
best, listen, this is good. The best to eat are those
What
still
you
that
crack.
you're going to crack yourself.
That's right.
And get them out of the shell.
Yes, sir.
Including peanuts.
That's right. Well, peanuts, you have to watch those because they produce a toxin called aflatoxin. They're very prone to molding because they grow in the ground. And there's an aspergillus fungus that actually produces this toxin, aflatoxin, which produces liver cancer. And so peanuts are the lowest one on my totem pole for nuts.
And you've seen people reverse cancer?
Yes, sir.
How many? Lots of them?
Thousands.
Really?
Yes,
in the thousands?
In the thousands, yes, sir.
Before we say bye, we're going to continue tomorrow because I want to talk about diabetes and some of
Sure.
the bigger of the big killers too. Let's talk about heart disease.
Okay.
Now that's easier to reverse than cancer, I suppose, isn't it?
Yes, sir. There's not a single heart disease that is genetically transmitted. They're all nutritional deficiency diseases. Some of them are inflicted by, again, free radicals, fried foods, inflammation, gluten.
Wait, Doc. All heart disease is caused by...
Nutritional deficiencies are what you eat, how you cook your food.
Okay.
For instance, congestive heart failure, the most common cause of heart death in American adults, is caused by a deficiency of a single vitamin. We've known that since the late 1700s, discovered by a Japanese naval surgeon, of all people. It's called congestive heart failure. Doctors will give you digitalis for years, and then they'll put you on the heart transplant list. Well, it can be reversed in 5 days. In fact, there's a pastor...
What, 5 days?
Yes, sir. 5 days.
By doing what?
He had congestive heart failure and several other heart diseases, and he was on the heart transplant list for 3 years. In 5 days' time, his cardiologist took him off of 27 prescription drugs, took him off the heart transplant list, and deemed him cured.
How?
How? By giving him these supplements with these nutrients.
What supplements?
Well, for our company's name is the...
No, but I mean if somebody's watching and they've got somebody who's dying, what do you tell them? What supplements can they take to help?
Okay, well, they have to take the base, okay, which is the 90. You have to take 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And then for congestive heart failure, I'd have them take extra thiamine, B1. For cardiomyopathy heart disease, which causes sudden heart death, I'd have them take extra selenium. I actually did 1,700 autopsies on people who have died from that one disease. 1,700.
I mean, I know people
that
right now that have, some big problems with their heart. And if they take these supplements, are you saying they can
reverse the disease? Yes, sir. And then also, coronary artery disease is common, where the arteries get plugged. It has nothing to do with cholesterol. Cholesterol doesn't cause a single disease. Cholesterol is sort of a straw man. It has nothing to do with any disease, let alone heart disease. When you get on a cholesterol-reduced diet and take statin drugs to lower your cholesterol, you're going to get a lot of diseases I call physician-caused diseases.
Now, they just came out with a report on statin drugs. You agree with that or not?
No, sir. That cardiologist, the guy who came out with that statement that everybody needs to be on statin drugs should be put in jail.
Really?
Yes, sir. And here's why. Because statin drugs, the cholesterol-lowering drugs, created a new category of disease called Alzheimer's disease. It's a man-made disease, a physician-caused disease. Did not exist 42 years ago by any other name. Today it's the number 4 killer of adults over the age of 65, and it was caused by statin drugs lowering cholesterol. Your brain is 75% the myelin, the white matter of the brain, the insulation material, and that's 100% cholesterol. So you go on a cholesterol-restricted diet, you're eating egg white omelets and egg beaters instead of eggs, you're eating boneless, skinless chicken breasts, you're using oils and margarines instead of cream and butter for cooking. Guess what? You're going to get Alzheimer's disease. In fact, the FDA, I've been saying this since 1971. Everybody laughed at me. Well, the FDA came out in February of 2012 and said, stop taking statin drugs. The FDA said that in February 2012. Stop taking statin drugs because it will increase your risk of type 2 diabetes by 52% and Alzheimer's disease by 100%.
Wow.
You're going to get Alzheimer's disease if you're taking statin drugs.
So many people have that now. I mean, I have family members who are losing their memory.
It's a physician-caused disease, sir.
It's a physician-caused disease.
That's right, because they tell you to take statin drugs to lower your cholesterol. Your brain is 75% cholesterol.
Doc, wow. Well, how do you help people with heart disease? How do you help people with, who are losing their memory and cancer? You've got stuff to give them.
Yes, sir.
Materials.
Yes.
Like what?
Well, again, they need the 90 essential nutrients. You can't get it from your food anymore. And again,
they need, slow down and say that again. They need the what?
The 90 essential nutrients. 60, 90.
Okay.
60 minerals, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids.
Wait, Doc, slow down. 90 minerals.
No, sir. 90 essential nutrients.
Oh, nutrients.
60 minerals.
60 minerals.
Okay. 16 vitamins.
16 vitamins.
12 amino acids.
Okay.
And 3 essential fatty acids. That adds up to 90.
Do you have all this in your material here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can tell them what vitamins to take and.
Yes, sir.
What, and this CD, you said has helped how many people?
Well, millions, because we've sold 200 million of that one CD.
200 million
copies, yes,
of
sir.
This one CD I'm holding in my hand. What do you mean by dead doctors don't lie? That's what it's called.
That's right. Well, that actually was a name that was given to it in 1993. I've been lecturing for about 12 years prior to that, and, making audio cassette tapes.
And on this CD, you talk about what? Everything you've been talking about and more.
Yes, sir. We cover the basic diseases that affect the American community. Arthritis, diabetes,
birth defects, allergies, asthma, cancer, insomnia, on and on, fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's, anxiety.
That's just a small
high
number.
Blood pressure, pardon.
There's actually 900 different diseases that can be prevented and reversed. Every birth defect is a deficiency, nutritional deficiency of the embryo. None of it's genetically transmitted.
By the way, they're proving what he's saying is right now. There's a number of DVDs out there. One is called Forks Over Knives. One is called Food Matters by Doctors. There's the China study just finished. I mean, I watched all that stuff. I'm convinced because it happened to me, physically to me. I mean, I experienced what you're saying. So I'm sold on this one because I saw conventional medicine harm my body. And then I said to the doctor, forget it. I said, I'm not going to take this stuff because the side effects themselves were worse than what I had. And I went the nutritional way. And my body, I mean, I don't take one pill for nothing right now, and I'm doing well.
That's why so many people love you.
I'm 60 years old.
You're
I'm
a great
traveling
leader.
in the world. I don't ever get sick, thank God. Not even a headache or a cold, because I have a big bag of vitamins. I really believe in what you're saying.
That's the God stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you just eat right and make sure. Of course, I'm learning things from you right now, too. Okay, Doc, listen. You've got this CD that over 200 million people
have bought,
have bought. Wow, that shows you that
people are interested.
Yeah, of course. And the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It's all in the book, too.
Yes, sir. Well, there's more information in the book than there is on the CD because you can put charts and tables. And
the alternative health tell-all that makes doctors cringe. Wow. Doctors don't like this.
They don't like what's in there because, for instance, Pastor Benny, rheumatoid arthritis is curable in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
You can cure arthritis in 2 weeks.
Rheumatoid arthritis is curable.
Rheumatoid
Yes,
arthritis.
Degenerative arthritis and bone arthritis, it takes 90 days to regrow the cartilage. But rheumatoid arthritis is curable in 2 weeks.
Okay, let's talk about this tomorrow because we're really out of time. Here's how you can get these. Watch this. We'll be right back.
Dr. Joel Wallach's groundbreaking studies over decades of research have revealed numerous facts and truths about your health, which are radically different from what you have been led to believe by the medical community. These findings have been distributed worldwide through the material on this phenomenal CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, with more than 200 million copies in circulation. Recorded during Dr. Wallach's lectures, this CD touches on a wide range of subjects, including aging, heart disease, cholesterol, arthritis, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and pregnancy. In all, Dr. Wallach addresses 25 topics and engages in question and answer sessions with the audience. And his book is a comprehensive expansion of the material on the CD, with over 400 pages of information which can significantly impact your quality and length of life. You'll learn how to identify 90 essential nutrients, many of which are not available in food. Prevent and reverse 412 diseases with vitamins, minerals, and herbs. Reach your genetic potential for a long and happy life. Eliminate a major portion of costly medical expenses. Take responsibility for your health, and much, much more. Dr. Wallach's Dead Doctors Don't Lie 400-page book and multi-million selling CD can both be yours.
Please get these today. Change your life. Take charge of your health. Sweet, dear, wonderful partners. You got to do this for yourself because, listen, doctors today are messing people up left and right. You know, they change their mind every few months. Some new report comes out. Oh, this was wrong. You know, do it this way. It's really quite confusing out there. Let's take charge of our own life and health. You know, men like Dr. Wallach are really a gift to us because they've gone through it. They do all the hard work and tell us how to live. So get this today. The number is on the screen. Tune in tomorrow because I'm going to talk to him about reversing arthritis and diabetes.
Yes, sir.
And other things too.
Yes, yes.
I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I am fascinated, and I mean fascinated, by Dr. Wallach. You know, I've had many guests on This Is Your Day. I've shown you miracles and healings from around the world. In fact, I'll be showing you some next week. Don't miss next week. Be showing you what God did in Israel. The power of God hit on the Sea of Galilee, people getting healed. And I'm going to believe God with you that God's going to heal you. I'm telling you, when you watch next week's programs, and I'll be praying for you at the end of those programs, just believe God to heal you. Thanks also for being my partner. Thanks for being my wonderful, sweet friend. I really love you. Suzanne and I absolutely love you. Dr. Wallach, like I was just saying, I've had many guests, but I've never had one like him. And I'm really fascinated by what you've accomplished so much for God's people. Like millions of people, literally millions, have been helped by you. Not thousands, millions.
And it's a great honor. And of course, I figured this out when I was 9, Pastor Benny. And I realized that, and even when I was 9, that a 9-year-old kid is not going to figure this out by himself. So I knew that I had a divine appointment when I was 9.
That God really called you to help people. Okay, now we're talking about how to reverse disease. I've had Dr. Braverman here. I've had Dr. Don Colbert, Gary Gordon, on and on and on. And, you know, I think all of you doctors that deal in nutrition are really a gift to all of us.
Absolutely. I know these men. They're great men.
Yeah. You know, I've been watching some amazing programs. One of them called Forks over Knives. You really need to see it. Forks, like a fork over knives. And one called Food Matters. These are doctors, top doctors, that have studied nutrition and what is going on today in America. How many people are getting killed, dying literally from prescription drugs, from conventional medicine. They're dying unnecessarily from just taking all these drugs.
1.5 million a year are killed just from decimal point errors in fulfilling prescriptions. 1.5 million are killed and permanently injured in America alone.
Now,
Just
you
from decimal
use the
point.
word killed,
Yes,
but
sir, like dead.
I mean, but they're dying. Nobody's killing them, but they're
Yes,
just...
yes, the drugs. These are people who may have, like, migraine headaches, and the doctor writes the prescription wrong, or the pharmacist fulfills it wrong, or they have a child that has strep throat, and he's supposed to get a prescription penicillin, and the pharmacist is a little busy, and he puts in chemotherapy for a 300-pound man for a strep throat for a 3-year-old kid and kills a kid. This happens.
I mean, I heard on one of those DVDs, like Food Matters, they said that something like 100 and something thousand people a year die from side effects.
Oh, yeah, the side
drugs.
effects, yeah, are nothing compared to the mistakes.
Wow.
Mistakes are much more dangerous than even the side effects.
You've helped Creflo Dollar speaks well of you because you helped his daughter.
11-year-old daughter, and then he also uses our products because he gives
Tell me about his daughter. She was given up by...
Yeah, the medical doctors
what
told
happened?
him that she was probably not going to make it. She was one of these kids who didn't respond to medical treatment for asthma. And Andrew Young from the Civil Rights Movement, he was actually scheduled to have both his knees replaced. I rebuilt his knees. He canceled his...
Andrew Young, the guy from Atlanta, who used to be with Jimmy Carter.
Yes, he was the ambassador to the UN for Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was Martin Luther King Jr.'s general to keep the buses full during the protest.
Right.
And he was the mayor of Atlanta. Very, very...
I remember him.
Yep, very, very important man. And he was
You helped him with his...
He was scheduled to have both his knees replaced. And I rebuilt his, he canceled his surgeries. I said, I can do this in 90 days. Okay, doc, I'll give you 90 days. So quicker, it was like 60 days, I was able to rebuild his knees.
How, doc?
With the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids.
Now, slow down, and because I had him do this yesterday at the end of the program. Okay, give me that list again that helped Andrew Young and Creflo's daughter and him and millions of people like them. One more time, 90
essential nutrients.
Nutrients that we all need.
Yes.
90 essential nutrients.
Yes, sir, you got it.
And we need what else?
Well, in some cases, you need a little extra of some. For instance, with diabetes, you need some extra of some of those. And I can take a type 2 diabetic who is very, very brittle. Their A1C hemoglobin is out of control. Their blood sugar is out of control, even with injectable insulin. Anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months, they're an ex-diabetic. We can make California a diabetes-free state in 90 days if everybody would do the same program.
Really? Okay. Well, run that list again by me. Okay. 90
nutrients.
Okay.
60 minerals.
60 minerals.
60.
60.
16 vitamins.
16 vitamins.
12 amino acids.
12. Okay.
And 3 essential fatty acids.
With those 5 groups, you can fix anything. Is that it?
Yes, sir. But if you want to make it go faster, you have to put more of what we call the secret sauce for each disease. Okay, for instance, everybody needs, just like everybody needs oxygen, everybody needs water, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential minerals.
Why doesn't the medical profession agree with you? They think, forgive me, but they think many of you are quacks, you know?
This is true.
Why?
Okay,
is it because of money?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's insurance. For instance, if they were to cure you, see, there's no laws requiring them to cure you when there's a cure available.
Well, there's no money in health. Okay, fine. We know that.
Yes, yes.
So it's all about moolah.
Yes, sir.
Making money. So they don't care about people's health.
Well,
I mean, you know, I shouldn't really say that. Okay.
When they go to medical school, they might start out being altruistic when they start into medical school. But by the time they graduate, they have been changed. Okay? The pharmaceutical industry gives them things. They start giving them things. They give them books and pay for trips and give them their first stethoscope and give them their first
So a
ophthalmoscope.
pill for every ill doesn't work?
No. For instance, a good example, my favorite example, is rheumatoid arthritis.
Let's talk about arthritis.
Rheumatoid arthritis is an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. And mycoplasma is primarily a respiratory drug, but it gets in your bloodstream and sets up housekeeping in your joints and causes rheumatoid arthritis. You can kill it with a antibiotic in 2 weeks called minocycline. Just like you can kill the syphilis bacteria in 2 weeks with penicillin, you can kill strep throat bacteria with penicillin.
Listen, he told us some powerful things yesterday about reversing cancer. You really need to watch that program. And heart disease. I mean, this man is really top-notch. He knows what he's talking about.
You're too kind.
No, I mean, it's true because I've seen it happen too in my own life, and I've seen it happen in people's lives. Okay, so you can reverse arthritis.
Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis is curable in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. But the physician will only make $300 in office calls if he cures it. But if he treats you for rheumatoid arthritis with gold shots and methotrexate and joint replacements over 25 years, he makes $750,000. So he has a choice. Does he make $750,000 or does he make $300,000?
So extend the disease so you can make more money. How sad. But you can fix it in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
How?
Okay, well, I would give people two choices. They can have either the minocycline, which is a member of the tetracycline family, antibiotic. I can kill the bug. Or I can give them a set of herbs, which will also support the immune system, and 2 of the 8 herbs would have antimicrobial properties and kill the bug. This is going to take 60, 90 days to rebuild the damage using what we call the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It has the 90 essential nutrients and extra of the secret sauce, which actually rebuilds the cartilage.
You know, people said, why are you promoting all these nutritionists? If people get healthy, then you're out of the ministry. You're wrong, because I am preaching the gospel. My first calling is get people saved. I'll always have something to do. But you know why I'm doing this? Because I am so tired of seeing God's people sick. I'm serious with you. I have seen more sickness. I'm 60 years old, okay? I've seen more sick people, I think, than most people alive. As I travel the world, I see sickness everywhere. And Doc, it's time we talk about health, not just healing.
Yes.
And that's why you're here.
Yes. And of course, prevention is always the best. Just like you put oil in your car to prevent the engine from burning up. You take the 90 essential nutrients before you get sick, then you don't get sick. And this is the way the good Lord meant it to be. And this is why he put Adam in the Garden of Eden. And of course, all this ended.
You mentioned that with the garden because of the 4 rivers and all the minerals that were in that garden.
Yeah, the minerals come with the silt in the river during the flood time, rebuild the minerals in the soil. And the Tigris, the Euphrates, the Pishon and Dishon rivers. And this was the first MapQuest because it gives you exactly where the Garden of Eden is. Those 4 rivers are still there today. The Garden of Eden is still there today, east of Eden. And
so what we need is minerals in our body.
And you don't get it from the food anymore, and here's why. We dammed up all the rivers, and so the soil doesn't flood anymore, and reestablished the minerals of the soil. That doesn't happen anymore. We're killing the ocean because we've cut off the food supply to the ocean by damming up the rivers. The food supply was the minerals going out into the ocean to grow the plants and the algae which fed the fish.
Wow.
We're not overfishing the ocean. We've cut off the food supply to the ocean by damming up the rivers. Then, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, everything changed. Our traditional source of minerals went away in a heartbeat. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882.
What happened?
Because prior to that, everybody used a wood stove. Okay, and what do we do with the wood ashes every morning? They went out in the garden. Wood ashes are not ashes. Wood ashes are really the minerals that are left when you burn the wood in the tree. You throw the plant minerals, a.k.a. wood ashes, out into the garden, and then the corn and the tomatoes and the sweet potatoes and onions and peas and beans and squash and okra, whatever you're growing out there, sucks up all these minerals. You ate your food. You got your mineral supplements by putting the plant minerals, a.k.a. wood ashes, from your wood stove and fireplace into the garden. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, Thomas Edison pulled the switch on the first commercial electric generating plant on Pearl Street, New York. Within 10 years, Pastor Benny, in every industrialized nation, the general population had converted from wood as the universal fuel to electricity, propane, and natural gas. And they didn't replace our source of minerals. And so we went from getting our minerals with the wood ashes, from ashes to ashes, went from getting our nutrients from wood ashes to where do they come from? Nowhere. And so we have to consciously supplement with them now because we're not putting wood ashes in our food anymore.
How do we find those minerals today for you, for me?
Okay, we actually have a place that has 77 minerals, including all 60 essential minerals in optimal amounts. There's actually an ancient compost pile. It was underneath the sea for thousands and thousands of years. And this is part of our program with we call the Healthy Start Pack.
But can we not get them from a health food store?
No, sir.
How's that?
Because we're the only ones that have access to it.
Well, how's that?
Well, we have in perpetuity, we have an arrangement with the state that owns it. It's actually state property. And we have an arrangement with them in perpetuity that we're the only ones that can get to this stuff. And we extract the minerals from it. It's kind of like making a sun tea. We don't put any chemicals or anything. We just put it in water and it leaches the minerals out. When it reaches a certain level, we bottle it. We can either have it in capsules and dry, so it's easy to carry around, or in liquid. I prefer the liquid because it's easy to absorb. And you get 77 minerals, including all 60 essential ones. And that's the basic core of what makes us different.
Let's talk about diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
You can reverse diabetes too.
Yes, sir. We've known for 70 years that diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, is a simple mineral deficiency. We've known it for 70 years. It's not genetically transmitted at all. That is easily reversed. Okay, usually within, I've had it happen as quickly as 2 days, but I'd say 2 weeks to 2 months, somewhere in there it's going to take. And I've had some pretty heavy challenges by a fellow who owns the third largest medical laboratory in America, Gamma Labs. And he had terrible diabetes, so was just not responding to any medical treatment. And so we made a bet. His name is Jerry Murphy. I said, I can reverse your diabetes within 90 days. He said, well, you know, I know the best endocrinologists, and they're saying I've got diabetes that can't be reversed. It's genetic. I said, no, that's not true. He said, okay, I'll give you 90 days, Wallach. So I'll tell you what, I'll be your best friend, which he has become my best friend, if you're able to do what you can say and get rid of my diabetes in 90 days.
Wow. And you helped Andrew Young to you. Now, you didn't, by the way, finish by telling us what happened to his knees.
Oh, I regrew the cartilage in his knees, and he didn't have to have his knee replacements. That was in 1991.
You regrew the actual bone.
Bone and cartilage.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. It's regrowable.
And you did it with all the minerals
Nutrition.
and all the
Yes.
nutrition you mentioned?
Yes.
So if I called Andrew Young right now and asked him, he would,
if he knew me,
verify that you did that?
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. I've sat in his living room many, many times. We, have a little glass of red wine, and we'll discuss politics.
Hey, by the way, is red wine okay?
Absolutely. Has
Does it help
resveratrol
you?
in it. Yes, sir. It has resveratrol.
But can't we take the pills themselves?
I have the pills too. If you prefer the pills, if you don't want the alcohol.
Which is better?
Well, they're the same. Just some people are against alcohol, and they don't have to drink the red
Just
wine.
asking because people like to know about this.
Yeah.
Keep talking about the diabetes.
Okay. Well, diabetes again is a deficiency of a mineral, of a mineral.
One
mineral. And so you take the 90, take extra of the mineral, we call it our healthy blood sugar pack, and it goes away.
Doc, you're serious.
Dead serious, Pastor Benny.
You can reverse diabetes in an elderly, like someone in their 80s?
Oh, yes, sir. And kidney failure. We get people off of, in fact, I just had a gentleman in Moncton, Canada, which is 1,000 miles east of New York, and in Atlantic time. When it's 1 o'clock, when it's noon in New York, it's 1 o'clock in Moncton. This guy, his name is Tug. He's 87 years old. He could not urinate since he was 14. He was on dialysis 6 days a week.
Wow.
Since he was 14 to 87, diabetes. We got rid of his diabetes and got him off of dialysis and had him urinating again in 2 weeks with our program.
What did you do to help Creflo's daughter with asthma?
We gave her the 90 essential nutrients and got her on a gluten-free diet.
Okay, now when you give someone all the nutrients,
Yes, sir.
What happens to their body? Does their body kind of help itself?
Yes, yes. Well,
What happens?
Well, part of the
like
secret-
someone like her that's, doctors said, okay, no help.
That's
We're
right.
not going to help you.
Well, there's no drug that could help her anymore. Okay, and so there's two parts to the secret. So don't tell anybody. Part number one.
Telling the whole world. Go ahead, Doc.
Part number one is you have to make sure that they're absorbing it. And this is why you had to get this little girl on a gluten-free diet. Allow her intestines now to absorb these nutrients.
Because gluten
Stops absorption of nutrients.
Oh boy!
Changes the lining of the intestine.
And you said we get gluten from bread.
Yes, sir. Bread. Now, see, in the biblical
and
days,
cereals and other things too.
yes, we actually have a CD called Serial Killers.
What?
Serial Killers.
Really?
Yes, that tell you all the hidden places you're going to find gluten.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to hear what you were saying earlier, and I'm going to ask you more about gluten. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's worth 2 months worth of lectures.
Man, yeah.
But at any rate, the diabetes is easily gotten rid of. And so at any rate, Jerry Murphy says, I'll be your best friend if you can do it in 90 days. So within 90 days, his diabetes is gone. But he said, if you fail, when we first made the wager, he said, if you fail, Wallach, he says, I will destroy you.
That's a threat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He says, I lecture 3 times a week to medical groups. He says, I will tell everyone, I will make a CD, and I'll hand them out. I'll make sure everybody knows you're a fraud if you fail. I will destroy you, because
wow.
I'm everywhere. And I said, okay, Jerry, you're on. And he backed up. He says, no, wait a minute, Wallach. He says, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm not making this up. I said, are you afraid, Jerry? Come on. And so we made the wager, and sure enough, within 3 months, everything was normal, and he was off his medication.
Let's go back to Creflo's daughter.
Yes, sir.
You said there's 2 things.
Yes.
One, the body has to absorb
yes,
the
you have
nutrients.
To get a gluten-free diet.
Okay, and then
And the
what?
second one, you have to give the 90 essential nutrients according to body weight. That's very important. This is what we do in the veterinary industry. If you go to a grocery store, you find dog food for toy dogs under 10 pounds of body weight. You find dog food for medium-sized dogs, 35 to 50 pounds, large breeds, 50 to 100 pounds. And human beings is based on age. Well, you and I see lots of people, and you'll see people who are 70 years old, and they weigh 75, 80 pounds.
Right.
And you'll see kids who are 12 years old weigh 200 pounds. And so you can't go by age. You got to go by weight. And so if you're going to get a predictable result, you have to go by body weight. That way everybody's getting the same dose per pound, the same dose per pound.
Now, they just released a study about statin drugs. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to take them, blah, 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 blah.
Not true.
And you're saying, forget it.
The doctor who said that should be put in jail, because he's going to create Alzheimer's disease in every person in America who takes a statin drug.
So people that have high cholesterol, what should they do?
They should check themselves out, because they probably have prediabetes or diabetes or low thyroid, or deficiencies of certain nutrients like omega-3s. That causes high cholesterol. High cholesterol doesn't cause any heart disease. High cholesterol does not cause any disease. High cholesterol is a red warning light. And I tell people, you look at the red warning light in the dashboard of your car. Does it cause harm to your car? No. It's warning you there's a problem. If you lower your cholesterol, all you're doing is cutting the wire to the red warning light.
And you lower it how? Walking?
No, you don't want to lower it.
You do not want to lower it.
No. Normal is 220 to 270. Doctors say below 200. No, 220, 270 is normal.
I like this, doctor. Wow. So you just what? Do what?
Well,
nothing?
No. I like people to eat our weight. I weigh 155. What do you weigh?
About the same.
Okay. So we should be eating 4 to 6 eggs a day, poached or soft-boiled.
Yellow and all.
Yellow. Oh, yes, sir. That's the best part.
And the tastier part, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you have to think about it. The chicken egg is one of the greatest creations of the good Lord. Everything that, see, the chick, when the egg is laid, is the size of a 0 on a printed page. It's that little white spot sitting on top of the yolk. That's the chick. In 21 days exactly, Pastor Benny, that little dot on top of that yolk eats all that yolk and the white, and that egg cracks open, and there's a full-blown chicken there with a heart, a liver, kidneys, brain, eyes, skin, intestinal tract, feathers, bones, cartilage. All comes from everything that's in that egg. Egg is a perfect food.
Wow. And butter is good for you.
Oh, yes, sir.
And what else? Like milk. They say don't touch dairy products. Yes or no?
You must eat these things. Now, I have another book out called Immortality. In this book, Immortality, my wife and I took 10 years to write this book, and we looked at the top 20 longevity cultures on Earth. They're all third world cultures. They're illiterate. They have no doctors, no clinics, no hospitals, no private or government insurance, yet they have 40 times 100-year-olds we do. They're all very religious. They all go to church every day. They all go to service every Sunday, okay? But they go to church every day and do volunteer labor, if you will, for the church. They grow things for the church, for the pastors and so forth, the church. And then, by dumb luck, they just live in a place that has the 60 minerals in the soil, and they only eat 900 calories a day. Now, there is a science that shows when you have a calorie-restricted diet, you're going to add many years to your life. But they don't know that science. They're just so poor they can only afford 900 calories a day.
Now, listen, the doctor has a lot of material. We're almost out of time. I've really enjoyed you, Doc.
Well, thank you.
You said over 200 million people
yes,
got this CD that I'm holding
more.
in my hand.
That was 200 million sold. You know, who knows how many pirated ones there were.
200 million sold?
Yes, sir.
What's in this that people want so bad?
Well, it teaches them how to eliminate the main diseases in their life, either prevent them or get rid of them. Arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, fibromyalgia, lupus, birth defects.
Why do you call this Dead Doctors Don't Lie?
Well, because that's the only time they won't.
Doc, you're good. Okay, so this CD, over 200 million sold.
Yes, sir.
And it kind of tells you...
How to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. That's the short version.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So I can, if I listen to this, I can live 25 years longer.
There's one caveat.
Okay.
You have to take action and do what it says.
Well, of course.
Just listening isn't enough.
Take charge of your health.
Yes, yes, sir.
And the book is about the same, or there's a lot more in the book, I'm sure?
A lot more in the book because there's tables and charts you can't get on a CD. So there's tables and charts in there. Which
what do you tell people in the book that you don't say in the CD?
Well, the basic story is the same. But, again, there's tables and charts which show very clearly things you can't show a table and a chart on a CD.
You say here, the alternative health, tell all that makes doctors cringe.
It's because if everybody were like you and me health-wise, Pastor Benny, the medical system would be very humble because you'd go to a doctor. I go to a doctor once every 75 years.
You're 74 now.
74, yes, sir.
You've never been to a doctor?
Not since I was 9, 66 years.
You don't go for checkups?
I do my own. This book tells you how to do your own checkup.
Really?
Yes. For $3, you can go to a pharmacy without a prescription, get everything you need. You'll use the same test strips that a doctor uses to determine if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, if you have kidney failure.
And then if you, God forbid, have those, you can show them.
It tells you what to do.
What to do to reverse
It's like
it.
a Betty Crocker recipe book.
I've really enjoyed this, Doctor. Listen, here's how you can get these. We'll be right back.
Dr. Joel Wallach's groundbreaking studies over decades of research have revealed numerous facts and truths about your health, which are radically different from what you have been led to believe by the medical community. These findings have been distributed worldwide through the material on this phenomenal CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, with more than 200 million copies in circulation. Recorded during Dr. Wallach's lectures, this CD touches on a wide range of subjects, including aging, heart disease, cholesterol, arthritis, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and pregnancy. In all, Dr. Wallach addresses 25 topics and engages in question and answer sessions with the audience. And his book is a comprehensive expansion of the material on the CD, with over 400 pages of information which can significantly impact your quality and length of life. You'll learn how to identify 90 essential nutrients, many of which are not available in food. Prevent and reverse 412 diseases with vitamins, minerals, and herbs. Reach your genetic potential for a long and happy life. Eliminate a major portion of costly medical expenses. Take responsibility for your health, and much, much more. Dr. Wallach's Dead Doctors Don't Lie 400-page book and multi-million selling CD can both be yours today.
Fascinating, Dr. Wallach. I really do like this doctor. You know, I have seen this work in my life. I really have. I'm not kidding you. How conventional medicine almost ruined my health. And when I took charge, God really took care of my body. Because healing, you know, God heals us through His divine power, but there's certain times that we have to take charge, and God will move in and help us be healthy. So it's healing and health. Get these today. The announcer told you how. Take charge of your health, sweet people. Please do. Live longer, live happier, be there for your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We want you to be here for a long time, and so does God. With long life will I satisfy Him and show Him my salvation. And you know, God has given us these wonderful doctors as a gift. Make sure to get this CD and the book. Tomorrow, another wonderful program. Please don't miss it. Thank you for being my wonderful friend, wonderful partner. I love you with all my heart. Bye-bye.